welcome to the channel. Today's video is a bit of a haul video. I suppose I've titled it a haul, but if I'm really honest, this is most definitely a slow trickle of stuff that I've purchased over September, October, November. So it's kind of just bits and pieces that together looks like a haul, if I'm honest, but it's one-off bits that I'm collecting together for this, really. So it definitely isn't all just in one go. Some things are a bit of a try out, see how they go. Some things were things I definitely wanted. The first one really was a Hobbycraft trip. I don't go to Hobbycraft a huge amount. I think it's quite expensive, isn't it, for what you get? And if you're doing pencils in particular, yeah, I don't think you get any great big sets. It's fine for the odd loose stock, but I did spot these. Jane Davenport. I have some Jane Davenport inks, which I think are, yeah, they're really nice. They're good quality, but I have no kind of palette pastels, or I have some Pitt pastels, the pencils, but not anything like these. So as you can see, they were significantly reduced for Jane Davenport. So I thought, for that money, yeah, I'm definitely going to have them. And they're quite nice. This first one is, excuse the packet noise, and I'm going to rip the packet, I'm tempted to get it. This first one is definitely just bright colours. So really cracking pink. Really nice. As you can see, I have swatched them. I'll show you in a second. And the second one, I think this one's Mineral Eyes. The first one was Chilled, Palette Pastel Chilled, but this one's Mineral Eyes. This one I think is my preferred one. It has really quite a nice sparkle. They kind of just remind me of posh eyeshadows, really, but they are lovely. They both came with little kind of swatch cards, which are the world's worst material for pastels, because I don't know if you can tell. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit. It has quite a sheen on it, this card. So the pastel, well, as you can see from this one, that I think it was this one that I tried, it just doesn't bite at all into the paper. There's no surface for it to grab to, so you really just couldn't see what was going on. But they've got these kind of two drawings on the back, so I think you'd need to use maybe alcohol pens or something that's got a bit of absorption to it, because otherwise it's just going to slide off this shiny card. But you've got those anyway. I might make use of them. And then they had these two little small ones as well, for, again, pretty cheap compared. I think these were half price, but they were in the clearance area. So this one's Make a Splash, and I can't get in it. That has a little fish on. Again, you can see I've already been mauling about with it a little bit. Lovely bright colours. I did wonder when I was looking at them in the shop, or are they very similar? But having popped them on paper, they are quite different from each other. So it's, yeah, it was an okay purchase, considering I haven't got anything like this really, and this, I probably won't buy anything more on this kind of type of, oh, you can't see that, can you? There you go. Fishcotheque, which I quite like. But again, really lovely. It's got a nice sheen to it. I was really quite pleased with them. So where's my little swatch of them? So I have kind of swatched them out, if I can remember where I've put them in my book. And yeah, I was quite pleased with them. So they're on this side. So I think this was the first palette. This one is all these ones, and a little bit up to there. I've drawn it on where they were. So those were all those ones. They're quite nice. They're matte. There's nothing too exciting. And then the other ones are these ones, which were from here. So they do have a bit of shimmer, and they work a little bit better on the black, I noticed, as well. And while I've got this out, I also got, again, Jane Davenport. They had these bizarre looking things, which are velvet pastels, and I have no idea what these are. What are these? But they had these, and then as I was rooting through the clearance section, which is one of my favourite hobbies really, she says, dropping them on the floor, they did have all the colours in these, so I did get quite a few different ones. Where's that one just escaped to? Down there. They had a few different colours in them, so I did buy these as well. I just ditched the packaging. And they're quite little funky things, so they're all got a name on them. They're described as velvet pastels, and I wasn't sure really what on earth they were when I bought them, but they have this almost like it's a lip balm or yeah, some kind of product for your face. So again, I was a bit even more confused when I got them home. So they're describing it as a pastel, but it is in fact almost like a paint really. And when I tried them out, I'll shift them over there because they are on the other side. So there's the other half of the eyeshadowy ones. These are the actual, these ones. So they dry very, very matte. And they kind of feel like a pastel when you run your finger over it. It have that kind of touch to them, but they don't seem to come off. They do seem to set quite nicely. So I think I'm going to use them almost like a matte acrylic paint, because that kind of how they feel to me really when I'm looking at them on the page. But I really love the colours. They're totally right up my cup of tea in terms of palette. So yeah, I'm quite glad I got them, and it feels like there's quite a few quite an amount in them. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased. And then the other swatch that's on these pages is the other two ones of those, and as you can see, they have a bit of sheen about them. So yeah, I'm all pasteled up really from my cheap Hobbycraft purchase. Quite pleased with them. These obviously going to need a bit of a play with. I've got Neon Queen, Throne, there's some cracking names on these, Rose Empress, Blue Blooded, Make It Rain, as in rain as with the Queen, not rain from the sky, Noble Red, Monarch, and finally Ice Palace. So yeah, I was quite pleased with those. I think Hobbycraft are stopping doing Jane Davenport. I did, because I'd bought these and I didn't really know much about them, I looked them up online and then had a look to see if there were other colours that Hobbycraft did that my local Hobbycraft didn't have, and they didn't have anything left in stock for Jane Davenport when I bought these. So I think they're just stopping doing them completely. I don't know how easy her stuff in the UK is going to be to get. It seems like a lot of places that I know used to stock it before, seem to be getting rid, and they're not stocking it now really. So but yeah, that was definitely purchase number one. Excuse me while I just get rid of my pile of stash now so it doesn't keep falling on me. That's the only downside with these, they just seem to fall all over the place, or maybe that's just because I'm clumsy. Then other things that I've got, I did kind of get a few pen sets that I've been wanting to try for ages. So I have, as I've shown you before, I have the blue and the silver set of these Spectrum Noir Glitter, and they are without a shadow of a doubt my most favourite glitter pen. They just have a really beautiful sparkle to them. They're really reliable, you just know what they're going to do. And they just behave all the time. Helps if I find the right page. So that was, yeah, let me see what you can see. So from here down, so Yellow Cosmos, Golden Glow, Supernova, Fiery Red, Electric Pink and Ultraviolet. And these were the ones that I already had, but they have just a really beautiful sparkle and they're really easy to use. They're just very reliable pens. And it's pretty much stays on once you put it on. Yeah, it's one of my most favourite glitter pens. Just wish you did them in a slightly finer nib so you can control it a little bit. And on the subject of glitter really, the other glitter pens that I've been wanting to try for ages are these Zig Stella pens. So I got this little 12 set. This was again in clearance from Pen Pusher, which is over Manchester Way, Stockport, online. But again, it was in his clearance section, so I got a little set of these. Now these are quite a fine nib on them. Oop, helps if I don't go off the camera. So yeah, they're quite good for getting into little bits and pieces. Yeah, I've mixed feelings on what I think about them really. These ones all the way down up to there really, and they have a little bit of a sparkle. I don't know how well that's coming out, can't tell. It is again it's winter, it's a bit of a grey day here, so it's not the easiest to see. They have a little bit of a sparkle, but it's certainly nowhere near the leagues of the the Spectrum Noir ones. I quite like them. They're subtle. If you just wanted a little bit of a hint of glitter, I think they're quite a nice little buy. They're quite reliable. They seem to work quite well, and it's much more fine tip nib. So those have worked really well. And also from Pen Pusher, I didn't have any Tombow pens, nothing at all. Never tried one. So they had, I don't know if it was in clearance or if it was in the sales section, but they had these a little bit cheaper, and I thought I quite fancy having a go to see what they're like. I have lost already. I think they're in my work bag. It came with a little green water brush pen and a pencil. And obviously the 5 pens, a little fine liner and a rubber, and it has a little blending palette. It's a bit of a laminated card. I think calling it a blended palette is probably pushing the description a little far, but it does come with a little palette, which I thought might be useful if I'm just having a play. It has all the colours on the back, and then I think you're supposed to use this as a little bit of blend it, draw on the page, and use the water brush that I've managed to put somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. So yeah, just a little sample pack. I don't have any more of these. I don't know how many of these I will get. I probably certainly won't get all of them. Will I be able to find a page with these on? It's looking a bit sad, this page that has these on, because obviously I don't really have any, and I don't know where they are now. I've come to look for it. Oh yes, here. So yeah, just there's the 3. So blush, light ochre and opal. And then, where's the other page? Over the page? Have I managed to lose a page? Or I might have stupidly put that on the other page. Don't. But I've got 2 more anyway. It'll be the green and the, what's missing, the dark red. So the green, they don't have them on them. They just have the numbers. So 757, and the green, which is 192. I stupidly put my other pens on top of it. What an idiot. I'll probably just add the extra boxes on there, because like I say, I'm probably not going to get all of these, so. But yeah, quite pleased with them, and it was quite interesting to see what they were like, really. I'm probably going to use them a little bit more for a project that's coming up, which will make more sense when I show you about it, but for the moment, they're just a bit of a thing to play with. Then, what else have I got? From Amazon, I've not really bought very much from Amazon really of late in terms of crafting. You can see I put it on back to front. So I did get the Castle Pastel Arts set. They come with the 3 little sketchbooks. I really like pastel coloured pencils. I find them really useful in my coloured pencil work. I have been having a bit of a, as you can see, because they're all messed up, have been having a bit of a play with them. I don't think they're going to replace my Holbeins, personally. I think the colours in them are lovely, and there are a couple of colours in here that are quite different from what I have in my Holbeins. My Holbeins are used to death. They're not the easiest colours to replace, so I thought maybe this would be a good replacement set for them to use with my Lightfast regularly. And I think in some respects they will be. And they're much better than the Astralos, if you have those. I got those pretty early on, almost a year ago now I've got those, but those are so heavy with the amount of wax in them. There's very little pigment in them. I think these are way better than those. It doesn't take that much work to build the colours up to what I've got on this little swatch chart that came with it. This little swatch chart that came with it is really good little swatch chart, completely perfect. It's on a good quality paper. Seems like it's almost been designed for these coloured pencils. They went on it so well. I think they went on this better than they went on some of the books that I've tried it in, really. I think this has obviously been designed, this paper, so that it suits the mix that they have in these pencils. But I think they're a great little pencil. I think if I'm travelling, this would be a set that I'd take quite easily, because I wouldn't worry about it so much. I wouldn't worry about breakage or, knowing me, losing one. But yeah, really quite pleased with them, and I like the fact it's come with this little case. I know you pay a little bit more for it, but it's just handy to have them all together. And yeah, I want that set. Where is it? Oh, it's in that bond, because it's all together. I don't know why I'm keeping the cardboard sleeve on it, but I kind of feel like I have. And then my other little tiny Amazon purchase was the little Christmas Mandalas book. It was, I kind of imagined this to be much bigger, and it's actually only a little 8x8 book. So it's I think it'll be good for Christmas. It'll be fairly easy to do some of the designs in it fairly quickly and get through them. So yeah, I really quite like that as well. What else? Where can I put that? Oh, the last other thing that I got from Hobbycraft and I've totally forgotten about was these. I've been eyeing these up in Hobbycraft for a while because they are quite fancy little brushes, aren't they? Little mermaid tails. And it was a full set like this. And I think I got this half price as well with the pastels, and I was so delighted. There was only one of them in the clearance and I was like, ooh, having that. So lovely brushes. And this is so handy, this, because it's quite a firm brush. It's perfect for getting all the bits and pieces off your drawing as you're working, bits of lead. Whenever I sharpen, I seem to get it all over my book as well. Oop, get rid of it. Rubber bits, get rid of it. Yep, perfect. Love these. And I quite like this little case that this little one comes with as well, because again, then you can have it on your desk, sat up. These ones just live in my little pen tray over there. But yeah, this one in particular, I really, really like. Now, the other one, I'm going to show you this one. It's a bit of a strange one, because this I did buy this month, certainly, but I bought it completely empty. I think I've mentioned a couple of times, really, I've been making metallic watercolours for quite a while. It's not a quick process. I wanted quite a lot of different colours. I think Karen by KJ Designs does a massive palette that's this big. It's massive money, isn't it? It's big money, it's lovely, but my purse would not stretch to that. But I really wanted some more colours. So a lot of what I've made in here, this little row here, are Karen's paints. I didn't make this little row from that purple onwards to the pink there. Everything else on the palette I have made myself, hence why they don't look the most tidy of paints. The process itself to make them is pretty easy, and the reason I'm doing it on a haul is because that's how it starts. So I bought from Amazon these very attractive mica powders. So they're fairly cheap. I think this set at £12 or something like that. But they come in these little plastic containers. You've got the colours marked on them. Whatever colour I've made it of, I've kept the same colour in my watercolour palette, so that I know if I want to make another one, I'll top it up. But yeah, I've just bought loads of these, mainly the attractive browns that are left in my box now. I did end up having to get two because I underestimated just how much mica you'd need to make it. It's a fairly simple process, but it does take for so long to make. So I've made mine with honey. There's loads of videos on YouTube on how to make it. One of these little containers takes 3 times to fill up. So you fill it up the first time and it kind of drops to half, sometimes less than half, and you just have to keep going back, making more, filling it up, let it dry out again, get depressed by how low it's gone again, and fill it up again. So some of these have required 3 times making the same colour. Some have required 2, most were 3 if I'm honest. And then towards the end I did have a bit of an experiment when I've got a gold that's full, so I'll try bunging some glitter in with my gold and make some I don't know how well you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it, can't you? So yeah, I've made a few glittery ones as well. So I've made like a gold one, an orange one, and more of a lemony gold glitter, pink glitter, blue glitter, purple glitter, green glitter, and a little kind of coppery glitter down there. And I'm quite pleased with it, really. It is purely just for me, and my dream is to fill these up. I do have some more of other people's palettes. I've got a lovely Renaissance palette that has West End 2 in them, and the Christmas colours that I think I've had these nearly a year now, maybe less, but at some point I may put those in there as well. But I kind of like having hers all together, so I know where they are. She makes, don't get me wrong, she makes the best colours. Mine are anywhere near her quality, but it gives me a huge amount of different colour selections, and obviously it was significantly cheaper making it myself than trying to buy each of these from handmade providers, and overall I've been pretty pleased with how it's turned out. If I knew where I just chucked my swatch book, oh yeah, there. I can show you what they look like when they're painted. So I have getting Tombow pens, trying to get back into the limelight. So yeah, all these ones are the ones I've made in my book. So there's all of these, obviously no names because I've made them, and I'm not sure about naming them. But yes, currently that's where we're up to. So some have worked better than others, but yeah, really pleased. Not planning to make any more. Oh word, it took so long, so much of my time. I can't, those people that actually make these to sell deserve more than the money that they're getting for it, because it's such a long process just to make even one or two of these. I've pretty much been doing these since summer, on and off. I do a little bit, leave it, come back to it, do a little bit, leave it, come back to it. It took a long time, but I'm really pleased with it now. I've made enough for me and a couple of friends, and that, I think that's my watercolour manufacturing over with. Now, in terms of books, when I got the Spectrum Noir ones, these, I got these from, can't think of the word, Rymans? Yeah, Rymans. I also got this because it was also in the sale clearance section. I have the other one of these, the bigger book. Can I get it to hand? Yes, I know. Oh, can I reach it? That's a different question. So I have the bigger one that is more of a kind of A4 traditional size. But I got this one as well just because they were in the cheaper section anyway. So I thought, I'm making an order, I've got to pay the postage. Have they got anything else? And I kind of like this one better than the other one, really. I think the images are a bit more interesting. They're a bit more unusual. There's a mix of all kinds of different things in here that I quite like. I quite fancy having a go at. So they have this big kind of pull-out section in them as well, which is fairly pointless because you can't really do anything with it, but it's interesting to have a quick look at. And I think it has some stickers in the back. Yeah, there's some stickers there at the back as well. No idea what I'd stick their message stickers on, but yeah, got that as well. I think it was about a £5, something like that. So nice and cheap. Other books that I got this month, these were from Stationery Corner. I think they're based in Cheshire in the UK. The Doll's House one I've been looking at for a long time. I don't know what it is about this book, but it's just something about it that I really quite fancied. So it's quite a strange book. You get all these little characters you can cut out, and then you've got these little scenarios that are kind of like their little dolls' houses. And yeah, there's just something about it. It's got an innocence to it that I quite fancy. And I thought, you've got these tiny little things that you could actually cut out and use a gift tag or something like that. But yeah, I quite fancied it. So I think come New Year, you'll be probably seeing me having done a little bit in there. And then the new Eriy Fairy Tales book as well. Again, I'm sure this one's been seen loads of times. I've only just started on Eriy. You'll be seeing in my November finished pages, I've done one, not in this book, in one of my other ones. But yeah, the Fairy Tales one, again, fantastic service from Stationery Corner. And then the last Forest Girls that I didn't have, but this time in the premium edition from Book Depository, waited ages, but didn't care because this is a lovely book. And the paper is so much better in the premium edition. I probably won't get any more of these because I've already got quite a few now, but yeah, for future reference I probably will try and get the artist edition because it feels like I could easily watercolour paint this. It's really thick paper, but again, another really beautiful book, some lovely images in it. I just need to try and get past being terrified of working in them now. I think I'll probably try one in this book first just because I feel a bit more confident about what the paper can do. Maybe one of these Christmas ones coming up. So there's this one with the plain background, but I really quite like this kind of warm, cosy room that this one has as well. So might well have a go at that one as well. Then my last set of stuff is more AliExpress. I think I'm becoming a bit of an AliExpress addict. I'm there way too much looking at tat that I just don't need, but I just can't help myself. It's look at that, it's so cheap, I must buy it. No, get off. stop going on there. So I got I seem to have, this last few months I just seem to be addicted to glitter markers. Please give me glitter markers. These ones are, they're okay, they're not too bad. They're a nice looking pen. They're a sealed pen, so you can't get in top or bottom. They have a tiny pointy nib. It's like a plastic nib, so I know some people don't like those. And their colours are okay. They're a bit hit and miss. There's loads in here. Some worked better than others. So middle row, again, I don't know how, I've had to put my light on, as you might have noticed, because it's just got so dull. But some are glittery than others. But again, I think they'll be fairly useful. The orange is quite nice, the blue's quite nice, but some of them are like the green there, the little blue, as lovely as it is, they were a bit dry, those ones. So yeah, I think like all things, you get what you pay for, don't you? Some things are usable. I'll probably go through and ditch out the ones that I really think, yeah, I'm definitely going to use that, and keep the ones I don't. And then, yeah, some more lovely, lovely, strange, not sure which way to describe them as. This one, definitely lovely. When I bought the bird one, a few months ago, I did notice this one. It did pop up as well, but I thought, no, I'm not going to try them both. I'll try one and then I'll see whether I think they're okay. So obviously I have no clue. I'm guessing flower instruction book, because that's definitely what it is. It's very similar to the bird one in that it kind of goes through the same format. So you have the, oh, can you see how bright is that? That might be too bright. Let me knock it down a bit and see if that helps. A little bit, you can kind of see the drawing. So you have a drawing, and then it steps you through the stages of how to do it. And some of them are really, again, there's some absolutely beautiful images in this book that really hopefully help me get a bit more realistic looking flowers. I do love working on flowers, so any references help, don't they? Even if I'm not going to follow it to, you know, exactly, but when I come to do a hydrangea, there's quite a lot of books that have hydrangeas in them, just to give an idea of the kind of texture and things that you might want to come through. And there's all different kinds of flowers in this book, and it's just, again, it's so beautifully illustrated. Somebody clearly is exceptionally talented that has written it. But yeah, really pleased. And again, there's some that have the colour schemes on, so you can really follow through. I think the bird one was using Pablo's as the colour quote. I don't think I've looked up which colour pencil this particular one is doing. I could see it was Pablo's in the bird one. Now whether it's the same in this one, doesn't look like it's show. Hold on. Oh no, that's just the white, isn't it? I don't think they're perhaps showing. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was right. Look, Pablo's. So I do have the Pablo's set. If I'm honest, I personally don't love the Pablo's. I find them a little bit hard. You can layer them, but I think they very quickly get to a point where I don't like that they won't layer anymore. And anyway, going off track, they're in there for a reference. So lovely book, and then kind of following it along, really. I'm not going to go spend ages, but these were kind of scenes, so I quite like this one because of the skies. I want to do something more interesting with some of my skies, and this book certainly gives you a lot more kind of ideas about different types of sky and how to tackle it, clouds, and I think it's a mixture of watercolour and pencil work in this book, so I thought, yeah, that'd be ideal as well. But again, some really beautiful skies and scenes. There's other things in there, like this boat just gone past, but yeah, I just thought some of this was beautiful. Again, it's a bit hit and miss. What's in it? I don't know, because I can't understand a word of it. And then I thought this one might be more kind of scenes of fields, but it's kind of details to do with lots of different things, really. So there's some scenes, there's some flowers, there's some kind of still life setups. There's lots of different things. Oh, I like that one. If it's pink, I'm going to like it. But yeah, still, again, really useful. And for AliExpress, that, you know, if we bought this kind of book from Waterstones or somewhere like that here, it would be far more expensive than what I'm paying from there. So I think they're just really useful, and not a book that I need to worry about too much, but as a reference book, just thought they'd be really useful. And then these three, this one keeps popping up. They keep emailing me about it. Here, have a look at this book. Yes, I've seen it. And yeah, every time I go on there, it seems to pop up, and I'm like, well, I have a dog. I'm not really a cat person. I like cats, don't get me wrong. I've had cats myself. They're beautiful. But yeah, I want the dog version of this book. But it's quite a wacky little book. So I'm guessing this is the name of the book. I'm not even going to attempt to say what any of these names are, because I don't know. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I like the book. So you have basically cats on every page, but the cats are coloured in already. So if you don't like colouring in fur, this is a perfect book, because you don't have to, because all the cats already have some colour on them. I kind of thought, oh, you could furry them up a little bit more, because they're looking like they're very smooth cats at this point. So but yeah, they're basically cats in various different naughty positions, doing various different things. Even on this, with some stickers off food. I don't really understand why there's cats in there, but there's cats in lots of different scenarios. And then basically you've got a whole range of some kind of Zen doodly backgrounds, some objects, some just in a frame like that. Sometimes they're in a scene. Alice in Wonderland cat, I think, is what's going on there. But there's lots of cats in different little scenes, and I thought it's quite fun. And there's some quite unusual, I quite like that in the fridge, with little containers in it, and you know, you could play about with it in there. I think there's some quite nice little bits and pieces, and it's quite good paper. And they have this kind of little scene through the keyhole on there, but I think you could sacrifice those pretty easy if you wanted to use markers in it. I think you could probably get away with it. It's reasonable paper, much better than Amazon paper, I'd say. So I think you'd probably get away with markers quite nicely in here, and it's quite smooth paper, so markers I think would work very well in here. But I quite like it. It makes me smile. It's a little bit crazy. I like a crazy book every so often. It's not super thick, but again, it wasn't super expensive, so yeah, I really like it. Jetoy illustration colouring book, 39 kinds illustration. I'm presuming is the publisher. But yeah, I thought it's a cracking little book. I quite like it. It makes me smile. And then this one, Paper Doll Mate. I don't know if you can. Oh, you can see it a little bit. Look there. So yeah, it has it kind of glossy embossed on the front. This book, I couldn't see anything of what was inside it, other than what's on this little slip here. So I don't know what this is. I'm not a great doll lover, but I thought, well, I'll give it a go. It's cheap. It's hardback, so I was really pleased with that. And it has a mix of things, really. It has these kind of paper cut-out dress-up doll things at the back that you could colour in. You could even cut them out. I don't think I will. It has objects that, again, you can cut out. I quite like the arty ones. I might definitely be doing those ones. And then as you get through it, you get kind of these wallpapery pages that I definitely won't be doing, but then it relates to whatever the image is on the other side to match. So you've kind of got those going on, and then you've got some simple scenes, some more complicated scenes, which again I quite like. You could kind of add things if you're feeling brave to the coat hangers there, add more labels. I'm presuming you're supposed to finish what it's mentioning on there, so it's a bit of mixture stuff. These are the only bits I don't particularly like. Towards the front, it's got the doll and then the name. I quite like these little scene pages, but these massive dolls with names, I'm not so keen on those ones. But some of this I think I will definitely do. I quite like seeing the ones that they've done as well. It's a little bit sicky, I think, in parts, isn't it? There's bits that I'll do and bits that I won't touch with a barge pole. And then I don't really know what this is. It's almost like it's a bit of wrapping paper that's come with it that you could colour in if you have a lot of patience. I have some patience, but I think that possibly would push me past the point. But I like the book, and it's a really good quality book, nice paper. Ignore my daft. I was trying to translate what this book was called. At this point, I really wish I could speak some of these languages, because it would just be interesting, wouldn't it? This is quite a big book, so I would describe this as A3. So if I had my big ruler on it, it's way bigger than that. So it's a crosswise kind of 24.5. Oh no, can't. Yeah, 24.5 centimeters across. Way past that, going in height. It is a big book. I might just move you up a smidge just so you can see it. And you've got a horrible blur as well. Let's try and get rid of that. But yeah, my phone. I've got one of those. Take the picture and it'll translate it. I don't trust it at all. The story of the seed, and then this. It seemed to translate as different things when I tried it at different times. But King Guy Happy Do, don't know. Anyway. It's a lovely book. I think it's actually for children, looking at it on AliExpress, and I'm guessing this lovely lady must be the illustrator, but I really like the illustrations in it. So it's a really nice format. You get, oh, it's a terrible blur today, sorry. You get a painted version, which I'm guessing the artist done, and then you get the page for you to draw on every page. So some of them are that way up, some of them are this way up, but they're really, again, they're quite sweet, innocent drawings. I really quite like the style of them. It's pretty thick paper. Again, I think I could get away with watercolour, and hers kind of feels quite watercolour with some colour pencil over the top, so I think that's probably how I'll tackle this book. But it's really cute, well, big book. I think that's the only thing that does frighten me a bit. The size of it is massive. It feels massive as a colouring book. I'm not quick at the best of times, as you've seen from my videos. Don't get a huge amount done. So yeah, how long one of these would take me, don't know, but I really do love it, and I've looked through it quite a few times now, and I'm still like, yeah, I really like this the style of it. It's cheerful, it's innocent, yeah, it has something. I think that's the cover page that's on the front that you can have a go at. Some really nice mark making on the bird. But yeah, really enjoy this book. I'm looking forward to doing something in it after Christmas, once we've got Christmassy wintry pages out the way, and look forward to something a bit more kind of spring-like, maybe. Nice hair. I'll go to work with that for her tomorrow. Nobody will bat an eyelid. Nobody will bother at all. I'll try it tomorrow. But yeah, and there's a few really lovely. I'll whiz through them because I'm going on a bit now. Really lovely images in this book. Really like it. And again, I think it was in the children's section. I'll try and tag a lot of these books that I've just gone through. Obviously, my haul things are going to be a bit more tricky because they were just in the clearance section, so I know they're not selling them anymore at the moment. I'm sure there's probably other places selling them off. It seems to be the way at the moment. But yeah, so that's pretty much the stuff I've purchased over the last 3 months or so. Nothing too outstanding, but yeah, the books I really love, and I'm quite happy with most of the stuff that I've got. Maybe not the AliExpress glitter pens. I don't think I'm recommending those. They were a bit of a no, hit and miss. But yeah, all the rest pretty much in love with. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've bought. I'm going to shut up waffling on now. Thank you for watching this video. If you have, hopefully it's useful to somebody. If you want some bizarre books from China, here's some more to have a look at. Enjoy your colouring. Thank you very much. Bye bye.